The point of shoujo anime is not to dwell on the romance. Yes, a love story is very common within the shoujo community, but that's not all to it. The characters are more often than not flawed, and that's what the audience likes to see. It helps that we can see the hardships of love, friendship, family relations, basically anything you can think of. Although we do tend to get carried away with the things we see on our screens, placing ourselves in nearly impossible scenarios that makes us become blind to reality, there are still some shoujo animes that remind us that there is something meaningful to life, along with other life lessons we learn as we go through the times. And so here are some awesome shoujo animes that you forgot existed. And this will either serve as a reminder to all of us that have watched these series, or will be a good recommendation for future shoujo lovers. This list is very much from the CBR article listed below in the description. If you want to take a look at the list yourself, it will be down there. There are a lot of similarities, but I can guarantee some differences as well. While you're down there, you can help yourselves by clicking on the subscribe button or check out my other socials, whichever is more convenient for you. First up is Youth That Can Bloom, featuring a reverse harem genre that is often a hit or miss. We follow a strong female lead, not the physical kind, but she can dish out some of her own. This was a time before self-inserts, and our main character held herself in a good headspace that made me believe in the strength that all girls and women have. The series revolves around endearing love, intense passion, noble friendship, undying loyalty, family relations, and political intrigue. So it's not just a romance story, it has drama. When this first came out, it started slow, seemingly like a typical romance story, but once it got going, it can go pretty far. You can tell this is not an easy ride for any of the characters. Searching for the Full Moon is a classic shoujo series that is filled with young girls who want to make their dreams of becoming a pro singer. This is no exception for our heroine Mitsuki, but she has very limited time on her hands due to malignant throat cancer. One day, two angels of death came down and informed her that she only had 1 year to live. The two angels decided to help her achieve her wish by giving her a body that is free from any sickness. This allowed her to pursue her dreams, and she was able to do the very thing that she loves, which is to sing. This classic series is not without its heartbreaking moments, and you will have to watch the whole thing to experience it for yourselves. You wouldn't expect this series to be a shoujo, but it technically is. Shonen Onmyoji is a great mix of historical and supernatural elements. It also includes shonen elements despite the fact that the adaptation is from a shoujo light novel. Set in the Heian era of Japan, Masahiro is the grandson of the great Onmyoji Seimei. Wanting to carve a path of his own, he sets out to become the greatest spellcaster that is even better than his grandfather. Following mythological creatures and legends, we see all sorts of thrilling adventures set upon the boy. This is an out-of-the-ordinary shoujo series that can be enjoyed by anyone. The next anime on this list also features a historical era and is one of the first isekais to ever exist. Fushigi Yugi, also known as Mysterious Play, is about a high school student named Miyaka. She gets sucked into a Chinese novel titled The Universe of Four Gods, which is a story about an ancient country that is now known as Conan of China, featuring Miyaka as the priestess of one of the four gods known as Susaku. It is her duty as the priestess to gather the 7 warriors of the Phoenix and summon the god to bring peace between the warring lands of Conan and the country of Kuto. Meanwhile, there is a priestess in Kuto as well who is supposed to summon their own god, and lo and behold, it is Miyaka's best friend. So on her journey, Miyaka finds that things are not as easy as it sounds. The goal is to gather the warriors of the respective gods and summon them, but audiences will soon find that the triumphs and tragedies each character will face is highly captivating. Speaking of unconventional romance of two people with very different heights brings me to Lovely Complex. It's a rom-com featuring a mismatched pair where the 172cm tall Koizumi is much taller than the average girl and Otani is much shorter than the average guy at 156cm. Okay, don't let a rom-com turn you away. The funny moments as well as the romance is very unforgettable. They didn't start off crushing on each other, rather they supported each other on their own findings in love. This is when they got closer as friends, and later is when they start to feel like they are the ones who are meant to be. If you wanted a magical girl transformation, here is the Phantom Thief, Jean. This Phantom Thief is not your ordinary magical girl, but rather is tasked with sealing away demons who are possessing creations found in the human world. These demons are attracted to pure and beautiful emotions found in humans, and possessing these objects would turn the creator or beholder evil. Jean is actually a normal high school student named Maron who has an angel as her sidekick. But in her past life, she was the one and only Jeanne d'Arc. She is branded as the Phantom Thief by the police of the modern world. But Maron is actually doing her job to prevent the world from being taken over by demons. However, she is not alone, and there is another Phantom Thief who seems to be doing the work of the devil. Maron does not know who this new thief is, but she will protect the people she loves from any demonic entity. There is an unexpected turn from this, and I expect all of you to be as surprised when you learn what really went behind the scenes. When you combine shoujo with mecha, you get Magic Knight Ray-Earth. This series is commonly associated with the likes of Cardcaptor Sakura and Sailor Moon, but it would just feel a little empty if I didn't mention this. This is actually another isekai series before the genre was made big at this very time. It is literally as it sounds. These girls are transported to another world where they become magical knights that have the ability to control mechas. The world they are in are suffering from chaos, and it is up to the girls to save the princess from the villain. It sounds simple, right? Well, that's where you're wrong, but you're going to have to see for yourselves the reason why. Until then, this series is a refreshing take on the magical girl genre without being too cheesy. You can't complete a shoujo anime list without mermaids, so here they are! The Mermaid Princesses of Mermaid Melody. As princesses of the 7 kingdoms of the sea, it is their duty to protect their kingdom. However, as any good story goes, one of the princesses broke this rule. Lucia once entrusted her kingdom's magical pearl to a boy who fell overboard a ship one night, and so Lucia must travel to the human world to reclaim her pearl and protect the mermaid kingdoms. Here she is accompanied by her 2 best friends who are also mermaid princesses, and using the power of music, the girls need to protect themselves and the mermaid kingdoms from a growing evil force. Honestly, they had really lovely songs, and that's why you should stick around for it. Having a vampire princess is extremely rare in the shoujo anime world, so if you enjoy dark and gothic themes, you will most definitely enjoy the vampire princess Miyu. This is one thrilling action filled with drama and even blood-chilling horror that can rival some of the shonen's most daring spectacles. It features a heroine who slaughters monsters of her own kin. It is not for world peace, although it does help. Miyu does not kill monsters for the sake of good, but rather it is her duty. If Miyu ever decides to stop killing her own, Miyu will die at the hands of her servant who only exists to kill her. With a life filled with heartbreak, Miyu continues her life as a hunter and continues to witness the cruelty yet beauty of this world. Our list has to end with something light after a vampire-themed series brought to you by the same man who created Neon Genesis. His and Her Circumstances is a romance story, but not without its niche-specific moments. The series is filled with an abundance of thought-provoking themes and character-driven narration. In the one and only season, the series is not solely focused on the romance aspect. It does dive into the minds of each character and their drive for life. What is it that makes them make these choices and why they choose to do certain things? You can very much enjoy this even if you don't like romance, as it is not your typical shoujo anime. It is rather lighthearted, but some parts of the narration will most definitely shock you in ways that regular anime does not. Many of these series are forgotten due to age, or it just fell out of popular trends. Places like social media though is the best place to find forgotten series. So when I made this list, I can definitely remember the nostalgia because it was my childhood and I wanted to share the magic with all of you. Thank you for watching this video, and let others know about any underrated shoujo series that you personally enjoy in the comments. You can also check out some of my other videos if you're into the anime stuff. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye!